This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and today I'm pleased to have the metal god Rob Halford talking about his new Halford album, Made of Metal. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you again, buddy.
You too. Now, Rob, this has been an amazing year for Halford and for Judas Priest, and I know today we're mainly sticking on the Halford subject, but I mean, I do want to give you your accolades for getting a Grammy for the live performance of Dissident Aggressor off the new Judas Priest live album that came out last year.
Well, you know, that's the sweetest thing, really. You mentioned Dissident Aggressor, a song that was made around '76, I think it was. And for that to be acknowledged, all you know, in 2010, I think that really speaks volumes about the way a great metal song can live and can still, you know, create a reaction amongst the Grammy voters. And so there we were for the first time ever, myself and Scott and Jane Andrews Priest Management, not too far from where we're talking now, Eric, at downtown LA, and you know, they put the metal section at the very end of like a 2.5–3 hour spiel about, and the Grammy goes to this person and that person, and we waited and we waited. I'm looking at it, they've put heavy metal at the fucking end, right at the very end, you know. So by the time it came to the metal section, we were all a little bit bleary, you know, mentally, because we'd seen all these incredible things going on, and you're excited, but I think probably the fact that we waited and waited and waited, when the moment came, it was even more incredible. You know, to get the Grammy at the start of the award ceremony is fabulous, but to get one at the very, very end seems even better. And it just felt kind of very, you know, this is metal at the Grammys. We're at the last on the list, but we got one for heavy metal, and what a great night out that was.
Also, I think that the fact that you got the Grammy for Dissident Aggressor is also a testament to the timelessness of the Priest music. Yeah,
and it's a great song. I mean, lots of people have covered that song, most notably Slayer.
Another accolade that you received this year was the Golden God Award for Lifetime Achievement. Now, how did that make you feel?
Well, the Revolver Awards has become a very important event, and I was just over the moon to be honoured with that particular award. I'm amongst great friends, great talent, and so when any of these types of things happen, it really makes you feel good. You know, it's a great feeling, and so, without sounding too, you know, heady, I've got the Grammy and then I've got the Revolver Golden Gods Award side by side, and I look at them, you know, and it makes you think. It makes you think about what you've done, makes you think about the value of what you've made with your metal, and it also makes you think, most importantly for me, what's left to do, what's left to make as far as songs, full CDs, shows, whatever it might be. So I think you can really utilise those great awards and put them to good use.
And then headlining the main stage at Ozzfest.
Yeah, you know, again, out of the blue, once the word got out that the Halford band was going to be doing some shows, it didn't take too long for the calls to start coming in. My agent Dave Shapiro got in touch with the Ozzfest people. I didn't think I'd stand a chance, quite frankly, because, you know, it's becoming more and more difficult for Sharon and Ozzy to pick who to have working on the main stage and on the other stage. So
but you're the greatest.
Well, you know, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. There's a list of all of these incredible people, and I was just really grateful when Sharon said, like, yeah, Rob, do you want to come and play? And I'm like, yeah. Where am I going to be? And she goes, you're going to be on the spot before Crew. And I'm like, you crazy? You know, we're still a young band. Two records, Resurrection and Crucible. We had that holiday record that was a little bit selfish on my part. I really wanted to do something like that. So even though that's included in the band's repertoire, musically we go back to Resurrection and Crucible from several years ago. So suddenly it's excitement and motivation, and okay, we're going to do the Ozzfest, we're going to do all of these other shows, so we need some new metal, and that really was the impetus that made me start thinking about writing the Made of Metal record.
How do you feel that Made of Metal is an evolution for Halford?
Just that it's the next step, you know. I think that every band evolves with every series of songs and full releases that you do. You know, it's where you are and what you're doing at that particular time, and I feel that this represents an opportunity for the band to be again in the metal mix amongst all of the other great bands, and to let everybody see and hear what we're doing in 2010.
Now, what is the fixation with Nascar? I mean, Nascar is all over this album.
Yeah, I've kind of brought it into the framework of what I feel as a heavy metal singer and performer. Nascar kind of connects with that, because you've got these crazy drivers, and I mean that in the best possible way, that sit in these heavy metal machines going 200 miles an hour, about that far from each other, you know, constantly going left, and the concentration and determination to do something like that, it's just dancing with death, you know, and they're fearless, and so all of these things. And then the fans, of course, the NASCAR fans are just as insane as the metalheads, and equally at most NASCAR races, they start off with "Welcome to the Jungle," you know, that great rock and roll heavy track from GNR, and then you get to talk to the NASCAR fans, and like, yeah, we're into metal, we love heavy metal, so it all seemed to kind of connect, and again, with the attitude of always trying to look and do something a little bit different, it just made perfect sense to lock in the whole fast racing cars and the NASCAR vibe and everything else to the Made of Metal title track.
One of the songs that really touched me was a song called "Till the Day I Die," which is off Made of Metal. There's a lyric in there, "I got no time for the foolish man when the world treats him bad."
Yeah.
What inspired that lyric?
Well, I think, you know, if you kind of get into this this feeling that you're being kind of trod down or pushed around, and so on, you can either do one or two things. You can either submit to it, or you can fight back. And again, that to me is one of the big things about the metal experience. We're always fighting back. There are still people that, you know, attack this music, attack the fans for their own misguided reasons. And so I'm saying, I got no time for the foolish man if the world treats him so bad. I don't, you know. I'm surrounded by optimistic people that are full of energy and ideas, and looking to overcome difficulties. So I think that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm just speaking in an open sense. I'm talking about myself as well. You know, if I choose to kind of be, you know, morose or depressed or down, which I do feel on occasion, I've got the choice to do something about it, or just like give up, and that's not in my system, you know. So I think that's what I'm saying, and I love that song. Thanks for mentioning it, Eric, because it's the blues.
Yeah, it
is.
is.
Roy put this amazing like blues guitar, steel guitar on it, and when I presented him with the idea of the song, I said I really want to try and get that love of the blues that I still have, and that really began my love for metal, because I found metal through the blues from way back.
The Blaring Out Show.